Part 7. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 61. Yagura looked at Uchiha Susanoo with surprise. Is this the strongest defense in Three Tails Isobutsu? It's just that Yagura is a little confused. Why did Isofa feel so much more relaxed after seeing this technique? Shouldn't this technique be very powerful? On the surface, Uchiha seemed calm after using Susanoo, and easily withstood the coordinated attack of the 5 ninja swordsmen. However, Uchiha is not as indifferent as he appears. The 2 pupil techniques that Mangekyo comes with consume extremely exaggerated pupil power. Uchiha didn't expect that Susanoo would use it to consume even more energy. What Uchiha didn't expect was how much burden Susanoo put on her body. 590 After Susanoo came out, Uchiha felt that there was no pain in any part of his body. It's like being beaten every moment. No wonder Itaka died young. He was already ill and used Susanoo frequently. It would be even more unreasonable not to die young. However, Uchiha feels that his Susanoo is not the limit, it can become stronger. Gritting his teeth, Uchiha pupils continued to pour out. To an outsider, Uchiha blue ribs look like they are starting to grow. Arms grow, a head grows, and the body is constantly changing. Countless muscles are like lines, wrapped one by one between the ribs. Round after round, it quickly became fuller. In just a moment, a half-length giant several meters tall appeared in everyone's eyes. His familiarity with Susanoo has improved so quickly, Three Tails' eyes flashed with surprise. Three Tails' Isofa can see that Uchiha was quite reluctant when he first used Susanoo. Unexpectedly, in the blink of an eye, Uchiha completed the bust. What shocked Three Tails even more was that Uchiha had no intention of stopping after reaching this point. The exquisite armor seemed to appear out of thin air, covering the blue giant. Blue light also began to gather in Susanoo's hand, and soon formed a long knife swallowing flames. Uchiha was also surprised. It seems like Susanoo, it's not that difficult. My eyes just feel very uncomfortable and my body hurts. It's also a serious challenge for vision. Uchiha only used Susanoo for a while and felt that his vision had significantly declined. According to this trend, if Uchiha uses his pupil power unscrupulously, he will probably go blind in a short time. But I am very happy to be able to open Susanoo, Uchiha. Especially Susanoo who mastered the second stage in one go. In the emotional mall, this can be worth thousands of emotional points. There is only one step away from the perfect Susanoo. It seems that in addition to using emotional points to exchange for ninjutsu in the emotional mall, I can also master these ninjutsu and abilities through my own efforts. Of course, if I have enough emotional energy, I can also exchange it directly, which can save a lot of time. The 5 ninja swordsmen were all stunned when they saw the blue giant rising from the ground in front of them. In their minds, aren't ninjas just cut with one sword? Why are Uchiha ninjutsu more exaggerated than the last? At the shocked expressions of the 5 Jonin swordsmen, Uchiha smiled slightly. It was you who attacked me before, now it's my turn to attack you. After Uchiha finished speaking, his left and right eyes flashed with light at the same time. When the 5 ninja swordsmen heard Uchiha's voice, they subconsciously wanted to avoid and retreat. However, Zigguishin Pufferfish Ghost suddenly felt that he had lost control of his body. He was frozen in place, unable to move. However, the Azure Giant did not stop the long knife in his hand and swung it straight down at him. It easily split him in two, and blood spattered on the faces of his teammates who had not yet reacted. The sudden change made the remaining 4 people tremble. They did not notice the joy flashing in Uchiha eyes. This time using the divine body, Uchiha has a deeper understanding of the limitations of this technique. While the divine body completely seals the opponent, its effect on its own seal is not constant. It depends on the strength gap between me and the opponent. The stronger the other party is, the greater the restriction on me will be by the seal. On the contrary, the weaker the opponent's strength, the less restricted I will be. Although the 7 ninja swordsmen in front of Uchiha are not weak in strength, each of them is actually only at the level of Jonin. Being able to become famous in the ninja world relies on the 7 special ninja swords in their hands. Even among them, Loquat Juzang, who is more powerful, can only compete with Kakashi at a loss. After using the divine body this time, Uchiha Susanoo was not greatly affected. Thinking of this, Uchiha looked at the remaining 4 people, with bright lights flashing in his eyes. If that's the case, then it will be my turn to go on a killing spree. Next, Uchiha followed the same method, controlling the divine body and attacking Susanoo. Just like chopping melons and vegetables, he killed all 4 people in one go. The whole process was so short that even Mizukage Yagura on the side did not react. After a few breaths, out of the 7 5.9 ninja swordsmen, only Loquat Jozo was left in the distance. Mizukage Yagura didn't react, but Loquat Jozo saw it. Seeing that his teammates were being wiped out and killed by Uchiha like a piece of grass, he couldn't care less about Kakashi. He quickly cast a mist shinobi technique, turned around and ran away. As for the victory of the war, what does it have to do with him, Loquat Jozo? It has been modified and changed Zabuza to Loquat Jozo. Thank you everyone for the reminder. I was confused when writing, so I checked the encyclopedia specifically. Did not expect. Sure enough, I feel dizzy after writing so much every day. Please give me flowers. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 62. Assistant Hokage, you are so strong. Might stared at the boss with his eyes wide open. No one knows the strength of the 7 ninja swordsmen better than him. Even if he opens the 8th gate, he is not 100% sure that he can keep them all. Uchiha, on the other hand, killed them as easily as if he were just walking around. Might was shocked by Uchiha strength. Moreover, the way Uchiha kills is also extremely strange. The 7 ninja swordsmen seemed to be stunned, not even resisting, and allowed Uchiha long sword to fall. Gee, are you so powerful? Kushina's eyes were filled with brilliance. Beauty is in the eyes of beholder. She thinks Uchiha looks so handsome now, like the god of war. Terumi Mei, who was bound by Kushina, also looked at Uchiha blankly at this time. The 7 ninja swordsmen are the trump card of the Mist Ninja Village. In order to create the 24 ninja swordsmen 7, the Mist Ninjas spent a lot of money to get these 7 swords. The 7 ninja swordsmen are the pride of the Mist Ninja. Being able to become a member of the 7 ninja swordsmen is the dream of all Mist Ninjas. However, the 7 ninja swordsmen were brutally slaughtered in front of Uchiha, giving Terumi Mei an unreal dream. The only survivor, Jozang Loquat, survived because he ran fast and covered a long distance. At this moment, Terumi Mei suddenly remembered what Uchiha said just now. Who says that the Mist Ninja will definitely win this war? Even though Mizukage and Three Tails are still on the battlefield, Terumi Mei somehow thinks that Mist Shinobi has been defeated. Where did this Uchiha come from? The strength is so strong. However, Terumi Mei also felt a strange emotion in her heart. Uchiha appearance is exactly what she expected, and her strength is so amazing. Aside from the fact that Uchiha is a hostile ninja, he seems to be a good marriage partner. Thinking of this, Terumi Mei's face turned red and she glanced at Kushina. Kushina took me away to be G's little wife. Now it seems that it is not impossible. Terumi Mei realized what she was thinking and quickly shook her head, blushing and suppressing her thoughts. Fortunately, Kushina's eyes were all fixed on Uchiha at this time, and she didn't notice anything strange about Terumi Mei. Was that Mangekyo's pupil technique just now? Three Tails Ifu murmured in a low voice. At this moment, it didn't have the crazy and irritable tailed beast, instead it was as quiet as a baby. Mangekyo's ability, Yagura asked. Well, Mangekyo is the highest pupil technique of the Uchiha clan. It is the ultimate form of the upward evolution of 3 Tomo Sharingan. When a member of the Uchiha clan activates Mangekyo Sharingan, his left and right eyes will each derive a unique Mangekyo pupil technique. This is Mangekyo's the exclusive ability. It seems that he has mastered it. Is the ability to control people, is it an illusion? Three Tails Isofa can't be sure. However, Uchiha was able to easily kill the 7 ninja swordsmen, and he definitely used this kind of power. A flash of light flashed in Yagura's eyes, and he quickly understood what Three Tails meant. What an enviable and powerful ability, but Isobutsu. We actually don't have to worry about his ability. Although his ability seems powerful, it seems to only target a single target. Yagura paused, and then continued to laugh. And we are 2 people. Three Tails Isofwa laughed. Yes, we are 2 people. What made them even more confident was that Uchiha-suke's momentum dropped sharply after killing the 7 ninja swordsmen. An idea appeared in the minds of Three Tails and Mizukage at the same time. Presumably that kind of pupil technique consumes chakra and the body extremely seriously. This is indeed the case. Uchiha-suke successively used the eye technique to control the god body, Ten no Gaku, and still kept using Susanoo. Chakra and pupil power passed at a rapid speed. Even at this time, Susanoo had already retreated from the bust to the initial rib protection. The fatigue in Uchiha-suke's eyes cannot be concealed at all. Although the victory is somewhat ineffective, it seems that our Mist Ninja village has won this war. Mizukage Yagura said, appearing in front of Uchiha-suke together with Three Tails. Fourth Mizukage Yagura, and Three Tails. Uchiha-suke smiled and did not panic. Aren't you scared? Why should I be afraid? Mizukage Yagura glanced at Kushina in the distance with meaning. Could it be that your last trump card is Nine Tails Jinchuriki? I admit that Nine Tails is very strong, but that is the complete Nine Tails. If it is just Jinchuriki, it is still a little bit worse. I happen to bring the entire ceiling class of 780 Mist Ninja with me this time. It's a coincidence. I was just worried about Three Tails, but I didn't expect that it would be used on Nine Tails in the end. I also want to thank you for bringing Nine Tails out of Konoha. From now on, 5 Tails will be the tailed beast of our Sia Ninja. Nine Tails Jinchuriki and Nine Tails are very different. Facing Nine Tails Jinchuriki, Yagura only needs to kill Nine Tails Jinchuriki and force out the complete Nine Tails, thus solving the Nine Tails problem. I believe that Nine Tails at that time would never be on Konoha's side. Mizukage means that he completely thinks he can defeat me. You are very powerful, but your current condition is extremely poor. As a shadow of a village, I still have such confidence. And the chief architect Jimmo is not as rebellious as Fei Yukang smiled. Haha, compared to cooperating with Mizukage, I don't want a powerful Uchiha to appear again. Three Tails Isofu expressed his attitude. Uchiha-suke smiled. It seems, you really think you can defeat me. Guys, please give me flowers. There will be flowers tomorrow, keep adding more. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 63. After Uchiha-suke finished speaking, he gave Kushina a secret look. Kushina immediately understood, and a flash god appeared next to Uchiha-suke. Kushina is in golden body mode and is extremely fast. Even if Mizukage Yagura wants to intercept it, it is impossible. However, they don't think anything will change after Kushina appears. However, when Kushina grabbed Uchiha-suke's hand, a shocking scene happened to them. Golden light spread from Kushina's body, and after a while, Uchiha also became pregnant. In their perception, Uchiha-suke's momentum quickly recovered at a speed visible to the naked eye. Seeing this scene, Mizukage Yagura and Three Tails were shocked. Oops, he still has the ability to recover. Yagura, interrupt them quickly. The two instantly understood each other's intentions and acted at the same time with a tacit understanding. Water-style double water dragon bomb technique. Tailed beast bomb. However, it was too late. The moment they attacked, Uchihasuke and Kushina also started to fight back at the same time. Mangekyo, the godly body. Uchihasuke directly controls Mizukage and stops the ninjutsu in Mizukage's hand. Kushina used the power of 9 tails to transform into 9 big hands and grab 3 tails Isofu. One of the hands directly grabbed 3 tails Jifu's neck and forced the tailed beast bomb in 3 tails Jifu's mouth to physically change its direction. The previous scene of Uchihasuke killing the 7 ninja swordsmen was too profound, and 3 tails was always paying attention to Yagura's changes. Sensing something strange about Yagura, he immediately understood that he might have been affected by Uchiha's technique. Not daring to fight, Mizukage Yagura rolled up his tail and fled into the distance. Three Tails Isofu doesn't know if Uchihasuke's pupil technique is an illusion or something else. It should be regarded as an illusion. In the process of escaping, it poured a large amount of its own chakra into Yagura's body. Although the divine body is a sealing technique, it is not an illusion technique. However, Three Tails worked a miracle and accidentally found a way to crack the body of the god. The large amount of chakra in Yagura's body instantly put a huge burden on Uchihasuke's god body. At this moment Uchihasuke also understood the method of cracking the godly body. Use a large amount of chakra to impact the sealed person's body from the outside world. The more powerful chakra brings a greater burden on Uchihasuke's power. Once it exceeds the limit of Uchihasuke, the godly body will be self-defeating. Uchihasuke is already at the end of his strength, and the power Kushina shared with him is only chakra, not Wan. Therefore, Uchihasuke decisively released control of Yagura. At the same time, Yagura took 2 sharp breaths like a drowning person just surfacing. Thank you, Isofu, Mangekyo is really a terrifying power. At that moment, I felt like I had lost control of myself. Mizukage Yagura has infinite fear in his heart. No wonder the 7 ninja swordsmen were killed by Uchihasuke just like melons and vegetables. If I hadn't helped you, I might have been killed by him just now. Three Tails Isofu looked scared. If Yagura dies, it will never be able to escape Uchihasuke's attack. Fortunately, we have now found a way to break Uchihasuke's eye technique. However, the two of them were still worried. They just found a way to crack it, but there is no corresponding method. In their opinion, Uchihasuke's eye skills are too obscene and unreasonable. Yagura, it seems we have lost this war. Yeah, who would have thought that a Chunin from Konoha could have such a powerful force area? Konoha's Chunin, haha. Yagura thought of might die again. A Konoha genin has the ability to smash the 7 proud ninja swordsmen to death. Uchihasuke, the Konoha Chunin, even killed almost all of his 7 ninja swordsmen. Even he almost died at the hands of Uchihasuke. One genin, one Chunin, Sleepy Leaf has deceived everyone in the ninja world. Who would have thought that Konoha's newly appointed Hokage assistant has such terrifying strength? If I had known about it earlier, I would never have attacked Konoha. It seems that after returning to the Mist Ninja this time, I have to rectify the spy system, but I brought such ridiculous information. 17. Fortunately, Yagura also knows that now is not the time to think too much. When Yagura distanced himself from the 3 Isofu, he quickly directed Umbu beside him. Retreat, the entire army retreats. Yagura now has no thoughts of attacking Konoha. He just wanted to quickly return to the Mist Ninja and defend one side. What he is more afraid of now is that if Uchihasuke takes the opportunity to attack Kirigakure, what should he use to resist Uchihasuke? Almost all the 7 ninja swordsmen were killed by Uchihasuke. In addition, Mizukage did not benefit from Uchihasuke. The morale of the Mist Ninja had already dropped to the freezing point. Now after hearing the news of Mizuki's retreat, she ran away like a duck. At this time, it wasn't just Kirito who was scared. Even the ninjas on Konoha's side, Sarutobi Hong Chizhong, were terrified. Why didn't he understand the power of Uchiha at this time, thinking that he had actually spoken nonsense in front of the Uchiha interface before? It feels like dancing on the edge of death. Moreover, he didn't think Uchiha was the kind of person who would consider the overall situation and let him go. The former elders, Mitokato Homura and Yuditen Koharu, are the best examples. Their current life in Konoha is worse than death. If it were not for the support of their Sarutobi clan, they would not be able to survive long ago. How dare he question Uchiha decision-making just now? Hyuga Hisashi on the side also had a bright light in his eyes. He suddenly thought of Uchiha previous arrangement, and suddenly became more convinced of Uchiha. It turns out that Assistant Hokage has already thought of this scene. Hyuga Hisashi immediately issued orders to the surrounding ninjas. The ninjas of Konoha will pursue me, and I will never let go of any Mist Ninja. Sarutobi Hongyi also received the order. Although he was a little puzzled and thought that the poor should not be pursued, but due to the majesty of Uchiha, he could only obey Hisashi's arrangement. Lead the remnants of the Sarutobi clan and pursue the fleeing Kiri with Konoha Amuro. Soon, Sarutobi Hongno understood why Uchiha gave such an order. At the same time, he also understood why Konoha only sent a few ninjas for support. The Konoha elite led by Uchiha Fugaku had been waiting for a long time on the escape route from the Mist Ninja village. The Mist Ninja is here, kill him. Fire style great fireball technique. Earth style earth spikes. If Kinin had seen Konoha's ninjas before, he would have definitely fought back. But now they are not in the mood to fight back. It's too late to run away. So when the Mist Ninja faced Konoha's pursuit and interception, each of them looked panicked, fled in all directions, and was completely defeated. One side was extremely fast and the other side just ran away. The ninjas of the Mist Ninja are like fish bellies on the chopping board, letting the ninjas of Konoha knead them. Mizukage Yagura's heart bleeds after seeing Konoha's ambush. If you lose, everything is lost. After the war, even if the Mist Ninja village survived, it would be back to before liberation. Next, let's not talk about being in Konoha. What he was thinking at this time was, if Konoha attacks them, what will he do to fight back? Mizukage Yagura, whose mind was full of confusion, subconsciously glanced at Uchiha who was chasing behind him, and met Uchiha smile. At this time, Uchiha also saw Yagura, and his lips parted slightly. Mizukage, do you want to negotiate a deal? There will be more than 24,682 flowers tomorrow. Keep adding more flowers. Please flowers, please flowers, please flowers. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 64. Fire style water style intertwined, shouts and screams continued. Uchiha voice was not loud, and it was difficult to hear clearly from a distance, but Mizukage Yagura looked at Uchiha lips and stopped unexpectedly. Because, he could see what Uchiha was talking about. Yagura, what's wrong with you? Three Tails asked. However, Yagura didn't pay attention to Three Tails, and just stopped where he was, looking back not knowing what he was looking at. Three Tails Isofu followed Yagura's gaze with doubts. It was discovered that Uchiha was also looking at them. However, Uchiha did not appear to be attacking. Instead, he kept a certain distance from them and just watched them silently. After waiting for a moment, Uchiha slowly walked up to them. Deal, what kind of deal do you want to make? Yagura asked when he saw Uchiha stopping behind him. Yagura thinks further than Isofu. Even if he can escape today, it doesn't mean that Konoha is no threat to them. Now 6 of the 7 ninja swordsmen in the Mist Ninja village are dead and one has escaped, and the number of ninjas in the Mist Ninja has also been greatly reduced. If Konoha slows down and wants to attack the Mist Ninja village, he has no ability to stop Konoha. 307. Not to mention, Uchiha is not the only one in Konoha. There are also Orochimaru, Golden Flash, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Jiraiya and other ninjas. In his opinion, it would be almost effortless for Konoha to take over the Mist Ninja village. The unusual attitude of Uchiha in front of him made his nervousness relax a little. If there is a transaction, it means there is hope. Deal. The moment Three Tails heard Yagura's voice, his eyes softened a bit. Uchiha didn't hold back and spoke directly. It's very simple. First, Kiri Ninja Village declares its defeat. Then it leases Kakai Island, where the three towns of Rishui Town, Jinshui Town, and Jinhai Town are located, to Konoha for a term of 99 years. The rent is the punishment for this defeat. Xianghai Island, where the three towns of Rishui Town, Jinshui Town, and Jinhai Town are located, is the closest large island to Konoha from the Kingdom of Water. It can also be said that this fragrant sea island is the transit point between the Kingdom of Water and the Kingdom of Fire. When Yagura first heard about Xiang Island, he frowned. Compensation for ceding land is a taboo that affects everyone. Fortunately, Uchiha was just renting, so the resistance in Yagura's heart was reduced by most. A 99-year lease is too long, Yagura said. It's just a lease. In name, this island still belongs to your Mist Ninja village. It's still too long, 30 years. No, it must be 99 years. In exchange, Konoha and the Mist Ninja village signed a mutual aid treaty. As long as this island is still under the management of Konoha. Once the Mist Ninja village is attacked by an outsider, we Konoha will send ninja reinforcements. Of course, I am responsible for the funding, Uchiha said. Not to mention that the lease period is 99 years, this mutual assistance treaty alone speaks to Yagura's heart. He had been worried that Konoha would settle the score in the future. At that time, the Mist Ninja village had no ability to resist Konoha. If there is this mutual aid treaty, then it is equivalent to signing an alliance contract between Mist Ninja village and Konoha. Even if Konoha defeated Cloud Shinobi village and Rock Shinobi village and ended the war, they would not attack their Mist Ninja village again. However, these are only superficial benefits. In Yagura's eyes, this mutual aid treaty is also a threat to Uchiha. Rent 3 towns to Mue, and Mue will sign a mutual assistance treaty with you. If you don't rent it to Konoha, then I won't sign this treaty. If I don't sign this treaty, you have to figure out for yourself what price you have to bear. As a Mizukage, Yagura naturally understands the reason. It's just that he doesn't understand why Uchiha wants to lease these 3 islands. In his view, Uchiha was fully capable of occupying the 3 islands by force. And even if Uchiha takes over this island, there is no possibility for their Kiri Ninja village to take it back. To be honest, Yagura was already moved after Uchiha proposed the terms of the deal. I didn't agree immediately. I just felt that 99 years was too long, and I had a subconscious negotiation instinct. Uchiha was not in a hurry, and looked at Yagura silently after finishing speaking. Kusina on the side also looked at Uchiha curiously. She didn't understand why Uchiha wanted to rent the islands where the 3 towns were located. A few days ago, Uchiha took him on a tour of the islands where the 3 towns were located, and found nothing special. Uchiha is not in a hurry, but Yagura is. Now the ninjas of Konoha are still chasing and intercepting them, Mist Shinobi's ninjas. Just during the moment when he was meditating, dozens of mistaken ninjas died under Konoha's sword. Assistant Hokage, if you want to negotiate, can you ask Konoha's ninjas to stop first? Seeing his subordinates dying constantly, Yagura was filled with anxiety. Mizukage, you don't seem to have a very clear understanding of the current situation of Mist Ninja village. You should understand that Konoha has always held an attitude of dispensable towards this transaction. It doesn't matter whether you agree or not. Said there wasn't much loss. Don't forget, we are at war now. Since you didn't agree to my deal, why should I stop? Maybe you and I can fight again, Uchihasuke said with a smile. To put it nicely, Uchihasuke and Mizukage Yagura are a deal. To put it mildly, this is the Chanyuan alliance. Yagura looked at the confident Uchihasuke and felt a little angry in his heart. However, he is more powerless. 200 more flowers were added yesterday. Thank you everyone for the flowers, please give me flowers. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 65. Because, Yagura has no way to face Uchihasuke's request. If he agrees, and if he doesn't agree, he has to agree. Moreover, in his opinion, the conditions given by Uchihasuke are already very reasonable. If he doesn't agree to Uchihasuke's conditions, even if he can escape, what will the Mist Ninja do? Was the Mist Ninja village at that time still a Mist Ninja village? Even now, the ninja village will not be able to recover without a decade or two. Taking a deep breath, Yagura forced down the discomfort in his heart. Compared to Xianghai Island, which lost 3 towns, Yagura cared more about the remaining Mist Ninja. Okay, I promise you. Now, can you ask your ninjas to stop? Yagura said anxiously. Of course, as you wish. Uchihasuke said. After Uchihasuke finished speaking, he followed the gesture. Hyaga Hisashi, who was always observing Uchihasuke, noticed immediately and turned around and shouted. All Konoha shinobi obey the order and retreat. The order was spread one by the ninjas of the Hyaga clan to the entire Konoha shinobi army. Soon, Konoha's ninjas stopped and retreated neatly. However, it is impossible to stop immediately. There are still many unlucky Mist Ninjas who were killed by Konoha shinobi on the eve of the end of the war. But the ninjas of the Mist Ninja dared not say anything, and the remaining Mist Ninjas were all grateful that they survived. After seeing Mizukage confronting Uchihasuke, he didn't think about anything and dragged his exhausted body behind Mizukage. Although the fighting has stopped, the total number of Mist Ninjas has been reduced by more than half. Most of the remaining ninjas were still injured and breathless. The battle was chaotic just now, and Yagura didn't feel anything yet. Now that he stopped and saw the misery of the Mist Ninja, he only felt a burning sensation in his heart and his eyes turned black. The deal between Uchihasuke and Yagura was only a verbal agreement, not written in black and white. However, Uchihasuke was not worried at all about Yagura's tricks. A big fist means you can do whatever you want. Uchihasuke believes Yagura also understands this truth. However, Uchiha will still send a day mission to sign a formal agreement with Tienkang. In that case, Assistant Hokage, I will now take my subordinates back to the Mist Ninja village and await the arrival of the Konoha delegation. Mizukage Yagura turned and prepared to leave with a dark face. However, Uchihasuke doesn't intend to let Yagura go so easily. Mizukage, don't worry about the contract. Have you forgotten, we also have a mutual aid treaty. This treaty means that not only does Konoha help Mist Ninja, but when Konoha is in crisis, Mist Ninja will theoretically also help Konoha. Uchihasuke said leisurely. After Yagura heard this, he felt the anger in his heart became even stronger. Uchihasuke just threatened him with a mutual aid treaty. If he doesn't agree to sign the contract, he will bear the consequences. Yagura did not expect that after he agreed to lease Xianghai Island, Uchihasuke also threatened him with this mutual aid treaty. He was defeated, and even asked him to send troops to help the attack on Cloud Shinobi Village. Assistant Hokage, are you going too far? How do I say this? Mizukage Yagura did not reply immediately, but just glanced at the defeated soldiers behind him. The meaning is very clear. How could he send out to support Konoha when he was defeated with just these remnants of his troops? When Uchihasuke saw this, he seemed to have suddenly realized something, as if he hadn't thought it through just now. Oh, so that's what Mizukage was talking about. Don't worry, I'm not that unkind. We don't need Kirikage to send a large number of ninjas to help Konoha. It's enough for Mizukage and Three Tails to come to help. I guess Mizukage won't refuse this small request, right? Uchihasuke smiled and narrowed his eyes slightly, like a cunning fox. Although Kushina didn't know why Uchihasuke wanted that island, but watching the process of negotiating terms between Uchihasuke and Mizukage Yagura, she felt that Uchiha was heartbroken. In the battle just now, Uchihasuke almost defeated the Mist Ninja, and now he has to let Mizukage do illegal work for Uchihasuke. Unacceptable. But Kushina felt very happy when she looked at Mizukage, whose face was full of black lines. Since the third generation took charge of Konoha, Konoha has never fought such a victorious battle, and even Mizukage was forced out for Konoha's use. 0. Yagura suppressed his anger and said through gritted teeth. Of course. Three Tails Isofu and I can certainly help Konoha. After all, we signed a mutual assistance treaty. Yagura was picked out almost word for word. Who would have thought that Uchiha's next sentence made Yagura almost recite it in anger? Okay, now Shui and I will go together. After Uchihasuke finished speaking, he waved to Hyaga Hisashi. Assistant Hokage. Hisashi, you now call all Konoha ninjas to wait on the shore. After a simple repair, we will immediately head to the Cloud Shinobi front line by sea. 0. After saying that, Uchiha looked at Mizukage Yagura again as if he were familiar with it. Oh, by the way, Mizukage, please prepare a few ships for us so that we can take us directly to the Cloud Shinobi front line from land and sea. The sooner the war is resolved, the sooner everyone can settle down, right? Seeing Uchihasuke's demanding demands, Yagura's heart almost burst out of anger. However, he really couldn't refuse. Especially after being controlled by Uchihasuke with the godly body just now, he was full of vigilance towards Uchihasuke. I agree, there is no problem with these requests. It's just that Hokage will help. You wouldn't take the opportunity to kill me on the road, right? Uchihasuke said and stared at Uchihasuke closely. Uchihasuke's current condition has not returned to its peak, and his eye power is at a freezing point. Even so, he and Three Tails can only run when facing Uchihasuke and Kushina teaming up. If he follows Uchihasuke on the way to the front line, and Uchihasuke recovers and kills him, there is a great possibility that his life or death will be uncertain. Mizukage, since you have agreed to rent the island of Xianghai, Konoha naturally has no plans to continue attacking the Kiri ninja. After all, you and I have already negotiated the terms. If we change to a new Mizukage at this time, it will be a very troublesome thing for me, isn't it? Asking for flowers. Asking for flowers. Please give me flowers. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 66. It's best, that's it, Yagura said with force. Afterwards, Yagura stopped looking at Uchihasuke and turned around to summon his trusted Umbu. After giving simple instructions, several Mist Ninjas and Umbu Ninjas took the lead and gradually left with the remaining Mist Ninjas. At the same time, several Umbu controlled several large ships and sailed slowly towards the shore. No matter what conspiracy Uchihasuke has next, Yagura can only continue, and he can only continue. After all, these ninjas under him now are the Mist Ninja's last trump card, and there is no room for failure. Even the worst plan is to use his death to save the remaining Fog Ninjas. For the entire Mizukage village, retaining these Mizukage is definitely more useful than having only one Mizukage left. After all, Mizukage is only the representative of a ninja village, and these ninjas are the foundation of Mizukage village. Second Hokage, third Raikage, all made the same choice. After seeing Yagura's compromise, Uchihasuke turned his attention to the huge Three Tails. "Human, what do you want to do?" Three Tails felt Uchihasuke's gaze, and his heart trembled. "Don't be afraid, I'm just curious. After all, Kurama's temper is not that good. Unlike you, he can actually reach cooperation with Mizukage." "Huh, not all tailed beasts are like you humans, naturally fond of war. I just want to find a quiet place." "Assistant Hokage, there is no tailed beast in the treaty between us." Mizukage originally didn't want to talk to Uchihasuke, but after hearing that Uchihasuke cared about the tailed beast, he suddenly became wary. Three Tails Isofu negotiated cooperation with him, just wanting to have a quiet place. He can do it, and Uchihasuke can do it even more. If Uchihasuke also proposes the same conditions to Three Tails Isofu, Yagura cannot guarantee whether Three Tails Isofu will be interested or whether he will stay in Kiri Ninja Village. If there were no tailed beasts in the Mist Ninja Village, Yagura didn't dare to think that this would be a worse price than the death of all the ninjas in the Mist Ninja Village. Because the strength of the 5 great ninja villages is, to a certain extent, based on the possession of tailed beasts. This is like the nuclear energy of Blue Star is exactly the same. A country with nuclear weapons is a great power. It can be said that the tailed beast is the core of the Mist Ninja Village. Don't worry, I don't have any thoughts about Three Tails. After all, Three Tails is too weak. Among the tailed beasts, only Kurama can stand it. You, Three Tails heard this, his eyes filled with anger. The truth is what hurts the most. It admitted that it was incomparable to Nine Tails, but this attitude of being completely looked down upon by Uchihasuke still made it extremely unhappy. Uchihasuke just smiled and didn't say much. Soon, he turned his eyes away from them and went to Hyuga Hisashi's side to listen to Hyuga Hisashi's battle report. And prepare for the next trip to the Cloud Shinobi front line. The war has been going on for a long time, and Uchihasuke wants to end it. For other ninjas, war is a good opportunity to improve their strength. The number of geniuses in wartime is far more than that in peacetime. But, for Uchihasuke, the fastest way to improve strength is not war, but peace. After all, when you are full of food, you can think. In a quiet and harmonious environment, Uchihasuke has more things to do, more energy, more emotional value, and becomes stronger faster. This is also the main reason why Uchihasuke did not directly attack the Kingdom of Water. With Konoha's current strength, it would be easy to take over the Mist Ninja Village. However, once Konoha takes over the Mist Shinobi Village, the remaining Rock Shinobi Village, Cloud Shinobi Village, and Sand Shinobi Village will inevitably unite in advance. Never underestimate the ability of ninjas to stick together in the face of survival. At that time, Konoha will be dragged into the quagmire of war, which goes against Uchihasuke's original intention. However, Uchihasuke didn't do nothing. He wants to come down to a port, Xianghai Island. Just like a bridgehead, a nail is placed on Changren. Peace does not mean the absence of war. War by force is only the lowest means. At that time, Yagura will understand how shocking a small Xianghai Island will be to the entire Mist Ninja Village. At the end of the war, Hyuga Hisashi led some Konoha shinobi to begin cleaning the battlefield and at the same time gathered people towards the coast. At this time, Kushina also brought the photo feast over. Mizukage Yagura recognized Terumi Mei's identity at a glance. After Terumi Mei saw Mizukage, it was like seeing a savior. "Mizukage-sama, please help me." "What are you?" Mizukage Yagura asked in confusion. Terumi Mei blushed and did not explain immediately. "Isn't this obvious? She is captured. You can't let her tell you why." Terumi Mei is embarrassed to say that Kushina caught her to make her Uchihasuke's little wife. It was too embarrassing to say it like that, even if she didn't reject Uchiha very much. "Mizukage-sama, now is not the time to talk about this. Mizukage Yagura quickly understood Terumi Mei's subtext. However, he hesitated. He looked at Uchihasuke not far away with a complicated expression. Uchihasuke hadn't spoken yet at 3.7, but Juzinkan on the side spoke first. Hey, Mizukage, let me tell you that even if the war is over, it doesn't mean you are qualified to negotiate additional conditions. You can take Ninja Mist away, but you can't take her away. She is already my family's daughter-in-law. She is my family. You can't take away my family, right? After listening to Mizukage Yagura. A question mark on his face. Please flowers, please flowers, please flowers. The first order has exceeded 100, and we will update the first order tomorrow. There are also more than 400 recommendation votes, and there will be more recommendation votes tomorrow. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 67. Little Wife? Family. Mizukage Yagura looked at Terumi Mei suspiciously. Terumi Mei's performance was extremely intense, with anger on her face. Kusina, I didn't agree to be your bride-in-law, let alone your family member. It doesn't matter whether you agree or not, what matters is that I have caught you. Aren't you being unreasonable? Hey, it doesn't matter whether I'm being reasonable or not. What's important is that you can ask Mizukage if I'm being reasonable. Kusina spread her hands, as if I don't care. Mizukage, you can take away Terumi Mei as you please. As long as, Yagura dares. Mizukage Yagura suddenly felt embarrassed, rubbed his nose, and did not dare to look at Terumi Mei. After a long silence, Yagura said something else to Guyan. Terumi Mei, I remember that you want to marry a strong and beautiful man. I feel, the Hokage assistant is quite suitable. How about you consider it? After saying that, Mizukage Yagura also winked at Terumi Mei. Terumi Mei understands the meaning of Mizukage Yagura very well. Not only did Mizukage Yagura have no idea of saving her, but he also thought it was an unexpected surprise for her to become Uchihasuke's little wife. After the war, Yagura soon discovered that the Kiri Ninja Village's intelligence system 07 in Konoha was no longer working. He also thought about going back later and sorting himself out. Unexpectedly, Uchihasuke actually wanted to take Terumi Mei back as his little wife. With Terumi Mei in Konoha, what information will he not receive in the future? Mizukage Yagura thought leisurely. After a series of bad news today, there is finally some good news. Terumi Mei is going crazy now, especially when she sees the slightly curved corners of Mizukage Yagura's mouth. He is laughing, he is actually laughing. For a moment, Terumi Mei felt abandoned by the whole world. Just when Terumi Mei was in a daze, she suddenly felt a warm touch on her chin. What happened? I was just gone for a while, why did Terumi Mei look so hopeless? Kusina, you bullied her again. Uchihasuke looked at Kusina, and then looked at the sky at 45 degrees to the side, a Mizukage Yagura that had nothing to do with me. Don't look at me, it's not me. I didn't bully her, Kusina snickered. You look like this, it's not like you didn't bully her, Uchihasuke said, patted Terumi Mei on the head, and comforted, don't worry, I won't force you. This time you just go back to Mu with me, it's just if you don't want to follow me, just stay in Konoha, which is equivalent to the hostage of Konoha left by the Mist Ninja Village. Uchihasuke understands Terumi Mei and thinks that there is no problem in taking down Terumi Mei with his skin. It does not necessarily require force. Of course, in the short term. After all, he has already used his strength, so why does he care about the promise? Uchihasuke has a clear positioning for himself. Not forced, Kusina was stunned for a moment and pouted. Why didn't you do that to Terumi Mei? Didn't you force me at that time? Of course, Kusina was embarrassed to say this. However, Kusina's thoughts are almost written on her face, and Uchiha can tell what Kushina is thinking at a glance. Lowering his head, Uchiha whispered in Kushina's ear. In this world, I only use force on you. When Kushina heard this, her ears suddenly became a piece. What? Why are you using force on me alone? I'm sure you're right about this. But I don't know why, Kushina feels beautiful in her heart. For others, Uchiha is voluntary, but he can only have her by force. Doesn't this mean that Uchiha likes her more? Fortunately, no one knows what Kushina is thinking now. Otherwise, the CPU is definitely hanging high above Kushina's head. At the same time, Terumi Mei on the other side also lowered her head and hesitated. Even though she was extremely strong and carefree in the Mist Ninja village. But she had never been with a partner, let alone been in such close contact with a man, having her chin touched and her head patted affectionately. Especially Terumi Mei has a slight affection for Uchiha. Is this the smell of a man, the temperature of a man? Ah, I'm so shy. On the other hand, Mizukage Yagura on the side couldn't help but feel a thump in his heart when he saw Terumi Mei in this state. He suddenly began to doubt that Terumi Mei had sneaked into Konoha and even got into Uchiha side. In her current state, even if she obtained the information, would it still be reliable? For a long time. Except for a few injured Konoha shinobi, they returned to Konoha the same way they came. The remaining uninjured ninjas boarded the ship with Uchiha and sailed along the seaway towards the front line between Konoha and Cloud Shinobi village. The two large ships faced the sun and gradually disappeared on the horizon. The huge Three Tails, with half of its body rising out of the sea, followed closely behind. Konoha Camp. Cloud Shinobi front line. In the tent, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Jiraiya looked sad. It's not that they didn't know anything about what happened in Konoha during this period, but they couldn't protect themselves now. In addition, it is not a big deal, so it will pass patiently. Damn Cloud Shinobi, why are their tailed beasts so obedient? 2 tails Jinchuriki and 8 tails Jinchuriki, these 2 Jinchuriki are too lethal on the battlefield. Third Raikage's lightning-style armor is equally tricky. I fought him twice and almost defeated me. 8 tails Jinchuriki's elder brother, Ai, was born in Japan. It's too difficult. Not only are our ninjas fewer in number than Cloud Shinobis, they are also far apart in terms of high-end strength. Sarutobi Hiruzen listened to the complaints and took 2 strong puffs on the pipe in his hand. Even now, he still has not given up on Namikaze Minato. A large number of families who follow the Hokage lineage, such as the Inoshikacho family, have been sent by Sarutobi Hiruzen to the front lines of Konoha and Rock Shinobi to assist Namikaze Minato. The strength on their side is relatively weak. If he hadn't arrived, Jiraiya would have been unable to resist Cloud Shinobi's political power. Old man, if you ask me, you should call Orochimaru over, otherwise. Once we lose here at 070, it will inevitably cause an irreversible situation. We can't afford to lose, and we can't afford to lose on this front. Sarutobi Hiruzen naturally understands this truth, but he has always been concerned about face. After all, he wanted Namikaze Minato to be the 4th Hokage before, but Orochimaru usurped this position with a coup. Now asking him to ask for help from Orochimaru, he felt a little embarrassed. Old man, now is not the time to think about this. Don't forget that Orochimaru is a Hokage now. You asked him to come to support the front line, not because you asked him, but because it was his duty as a Hokage. After Sarutobi Hiruzen heard Jiraiya's words, he suddenly became enlightened, but his heart became even more sad. Yeah, now Orochimaru is Hokage, I'm no longer Hokage. While they were discussing, an alarm suddenly sounded from the camp. Enemy attack, Raikage is coming with Cloud Shinobi. Hokage-sama, oh no, Commander-in-Chief, Cloud Shinobi attacks. Listening to the shouts outside, Sarutobi Hiruzen became even more heartbroken. However, there is no time to think about this now. Sarutobi Hiruzen steeled himself, put on his armor, and looked at Jiraiya. Even if we inform Orochimaru, we must survive this attack first. Jiraiya, come with me. Please flowers, please flowers, please flowers. There will be more than 25,036 flowers tomorrow, so we will continue to add more flowers. Please flowers, please flowers, please flowers. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 68. Day 2. On deck. Uchihasuke looked forward with a leisurely expression, enjoying the feeling of the sea breeze gently hitting his face. Uchihasuke is in a good mood today. Because on the ship last night, through Kushina's unremitting efforts, Uchihasuke's emotional value finally exceeded 200,000 points, and he was able to exchange for the Mangekyo Sharingan that he had longed for. However, Uchiha did not do this. With the emotional maul, I can redeem Mangekyo Sharingan at any time and open the eternal Mangekyo. But, before redeeming Sharingan, I have a new idea. Uchihasuke thought with a playful smile on his lips. Anyway, any item Uchihasuke redeems in the emotional maul has no side effects and can be perfectly integrated into his body. Uchihasuke can redeem it whenever he wants, without any difference. This is also an important reason why Uchihasuke prefers to redeem bloodline from the system maul rather than through Orochimaru's experiment. Experiments are full of uncertainties, especially biological experiments. No one knows when they will be upgraded. Not to mention, Orochimaru's current experiments cannot reach this level. Uchihasuke. Assistant Hokage? What should I call you? Terumi Mei timidly came to Uchihasuke, looking left and right. After repeatedly confirming that Kushina was not there, he mustered up the courage to speak to Uchihasuke. You can call me whatever you want, whether you call me Uchihasuke, or Assistant Hokage. Why? Of course, you can also just call me Jijun like Kushina did. Uchihasuke turned around as he spoke and looked at Terumi Mei behind him. Terumi Mei met Uchihasuke's bright eyes, and her heart suddenly shrank, she was so handsome. He immediately lowered his head, his face covered by the sunset. Then I'll call you Jijun. I will stay in Konoha from now on. This sounds a little more friendly. After all, I still have to live under someone else's roof. I still have to work hard to please Mr. G. Terumi Mei said in a low voice. However, those words were more like Terumi Mei saying to herself, as if she was trying to persuade herself. Looking at Terumi Mei at this moment, Uchihasuke suddenly thought of what a sage once said. There are not many truths in the world. A woman's blush is worth a lot of love words. Of course, Terumi Mei may not necessarily have this in mind, but Terumi Mei definitely has a crush on him and cannot run away. Uchihasuke smiled and said. Why did you come to me so early? What's the matter? Don't worry, Kushina is seasick. She is probably still resting in the room. I don't think she will come out in a while. Oh, that's it. Terumi Mei patted her upper body, and there were waves on the sea, which made her feel a lot more relaxed. Then, Terumi Mei looked at Uchihasuke expectantly. Suke-kun, can you help me unlock the seal? After saying that, Terumi Mei was afraid that Uchihasuke would think she had other ideas, so she quickly added. Don't worry, I will never run away. After all, Mizukage-sama has already given up, and I won't have anywhere to run. What I'm thinking is, won't you wait until you arrive at the Cloud Shinobi front line? I'm an elite after all. Jonin, maybe I can help too. After Terumi Mei finished speaking, she looked anxious and subconsciously glanced in the direction of the cabin. Fortunately, Mizukage Yagura was not on the deck and did not hear what Terumi Mei was saying, otherwise he would have been completely confused. You are a prisoner, a hostage. Why are you thinking of helping the person who kidnapped you? You were arrested and your elbows have already turned outwards. I don't want to think about what will happen if you get married. Uchihasuke didn't answer, but asked. Are you that scared of Kushina? It's not that I'm afraid, it's just. Terumi Mei couldn't explain why. It would be wrong to say that Terumi Mei is afraid of Kushina's strength. After all, now she has become the hostage of the Mist Ninja village in Konoha. As long as she is obedient, Uchihasuke will definitely not do anything to her, let alone what Kushina will do to her. However, Terumi Mei is just a little scared of Kushina. In a daze, Terumi Mei suddenly remembered what Kushina said when she caught her. I want to capture you to be Jejun's little wife. For a moment, Terumi Mei seemed to understand why she was afraid of Kushina. Little daughter-in-law, isn't Kushina the eldest daughter-in-law? The younger daughter-in-law is afraid of the elder daughter-in-law. This is very reasonable. Realizing what was going on in her mind, Hitomi Yan quickly suppressed the embarrassing thought in her heart. Uchihasuke looked at Terumi Mei with her head lowered and said nothing, and she didn't understand what Terumi Mei was thinking. It's okay to break the seal. I'll just talk to Kushina later, but it shouldn't be broken now, after all. Uchihasuke said, spreading his hands. 8-sign seal is worth 20,000 sentiment points in the Sentiment Mall. The price is not high, but the cost is definitely not low. Uchihasuke doesn't have the spare emotional points to exchange for such a sealing technique right now. The sealed book is different from ninjutsu and cannot be copied directly using Sharingan. Therefore, in order to lift this sealing technique, Uchihasuke can only rely on Kushina for the time being. However, Kushina is now seasick. Is it possible that Kurama is a landlubber, so Kushina also gets seasick? Uchihasuke thought wildly. It's okay, just agree. Anyway, I'm on the ship now. It doesn't matter whether I can break the seal or not, Terumi Mei said. Asterisk, is there anything else? Terumi Mei shook her head repeatedly. No, Jejun, I won't disturb you anymore, let's go first. Before Terumi Mei could finish her words, she turned around and left as if fleeing. In fact, Terumi Mei quite likes to be alone with Uchihasuke. But when Terumi Mei thought about what she was thinking just now, she had only one thought in her mind. Get away from here. Soon. There is only one Uchihasuke left on the deck again. This time going to the front line of Cloud Shinobi, Uchihasuke did not bring Murasaki Minajiki, who returned to Konoha early along with the wounded in Konoha. Watching Terumi Mei's back disappear into the cabin, Uchihasuke turned around and leaned on the guardrail, continuing to look ahead silently. Outside the Konoha camp. Hey, Konoha's ninjas, come out quickly, hurry up in front of me, beg for mercy, yeah. Killer Bee ignored the serious situation between the two parties and began to hum while twisting. Not only did Sarutobi Hiruzen frown when he heard this, but even Third Raikage's mouth kept twitching when he heard the voice in his ear. Idiot, shut up now. I hit Killer Bee on the head with his fist. At first glance, that strength is that of an elder brother, coming from the true love of an elder brother. It hurts. The tailed beast inside Killer Bee was almost knocked out by this fist, but Killer Bee still screamed in a rap style. Listening to AI's face full of black lines, the love from his brother became stronger and stronger. After a few hammer blows, Killer Bee shut his mouth. It turns out that Killer Bee is still fleshy and he is afraid of pain. Even in the face of rap, which he loved so much, he still chose to follow his heart. No more Killer Bee's funny voice forever. The original serious atmosphere soon returned to the battlefield. Third Hokage, surrender. This victory must belong to us, Cloud Shinobi. Third Raikage said with pride on his face. 200 flowers will be added in this chapter. Asking for flowers, asking for flowers, asking for flowers. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 69. After this period of small-scale confrontation, Third Reikage thoroughly understood the details of Konoha. Apart from the Third Hokage and Jiraiya, there are only a few Jonin in the Konoha camp. And his Cloud Shinobi village. His strong Reikage, a brother, second-tailed by Wooden Golem, and Cloud Shinobi who are several times stronger than Konoha. Reikage has no idea how he lost. Likewise, Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't know how he can win. Looking at the arrogant Third Reikage in front of him, Sarutobi Hiruzen remains silent. Not only is Cloud Shinobi Village's high-end combat capability stronger than theirs, the number of ninjas is several times greater than theirs. If Cloud Shinobi hadn't lost part of its combat power due to a sneak attack on the rear by Rock Shinobi Village a while ago, would it still need to be on guard against Rock Shinobi Village at all times? The Third Reikage will have more power in its hands. But these are enough in front of him. He can't defeat a Konoha, but he can't take the Konoha camp in front of him. At that time, they will invade the Kingdom of Fire and carve up this rich land. Third Reikage, I admit that you Cloud Shinobi are very strong, but my teammates Tsunade and Orochimaru are already on their way. We in Konoha are not much worse than you Cloud Shinobi. If we really have to fight until both sides suffer, for us, no one will be the winner. Jiraiya said with force. Cloud Shinobi Village is now very popular, and its momentum is already high. If he remains silent, Kunyi's momentum would definitely drop to freezing point. In that case, Konoha would no longer be a match for Cloud Shinobi. Of course, Jiraiya also knew that what he just said was unreliable. Orochimaru could still rush to the front line, but with Tsunade that was completely impossible. After all, Tsunade suffers from anemia. Even if he can get over, what fighting ability can a ninja who cannot see blood have? In this way, Third Reikage hesitated. Sunin's name is still very valuable. In addition, Rock Shinobi Village has a lesson from the sneak attack on Cloud Shinobi Village, and Third Reikage has to consider what will happen after the victory of the war. If he pushes Konoha too hard, even if they defeat Konoha, he will lose. But soon, Third Reikage came back to his senses and looked at Jiraiya with narrowed eyes. Jiraiya, since Tsunade and Orochimaru, oh, no, it's the fourth Hokage, are coming, then why haven't I seen them too until now? Are they on the way? Or, didn't come at all? Others don't know what happened between the fourth Hokage and the third Hokage. He, the Third Reikage, doesn't know yet? In everyone's eyes, Namikaze Minato is the fourth Hokage, and Sarutobi Hiruzen has made it obvious. However, now it's suddenly Orochimaru. This is very intriguing. Therefore, Third Reikage doubts the authenticity of what Jiraiya said. Besides, Jiraiya, you said they were on the way. Didn't you also tell me that they haven't arrived yet? Aren't you forcing me to make a decision quickly and reminding me that things will change later? Jiraiya concluded after hearing this and bowed his head without saying anything. He couldn't admit directly now that Orochimaru and Tsunade were in the Konoha camp now. The Konoha camp is not big, and it is now almost half surrounded by Cloud Shinobi. With the strength of the Third Reikage, Orochimaru and Tsunade cannot hide at all. And if there was a real fight, if Orochimaru and Tsunade didn't show up, wouldn't it be a pretense and instead expose Konoha's weakness? It's useless to talk more, Third Reikage. Since you have appeared here, you will definitely not be able to stop so easily. Let's see the real chapter, Sarutobi Hiruzen said solemnly. It seems, your teacher can see clearly, Jiraiya. Third Reikage smiled. Hey, let's start the battle. Master Killer B, I'm going to fight four of you. Seeing that the two sides were talking to each other, Killer B couldn't help humming again, I'm eager to try with the long knife in my hand. Originally, Killer B was about to hum a few more words, but unexpectedly, AI stared at him and immediately shut his mouth. Behind them is Wooden Golem, a well-dressed second-tailed man. Her rice-brown hair is braided, asib, into a braid that hangs to her waist. With a proud expression, She looks at Konoha shinobi like a queen. Behind her is a female ninja with short silver white hair, dark skin, and a notebook in her hand, Azabuye. Of course, the most eye-catching thing is the fiery figure, Samai. His face was cold, and he was wearing a light gray dress with a net, a low collar, and a black skirt. Red wristbands, black high boots, unioning standard women's belt. She is blonde and has blue eyes, and the button in the middle is in a state of being overwhelmed and falling apart at any time. That abundant capital almost surpassed the profile of Wooden Golem, the second player in front, and blocked most of the medical light from the left side of Wooden Golem, the second player at the end. Oh, Sammy is so disgusting, how come she is so big? She can even block my view behind me. If I were buried there, wouldn't I be suffocated? No one knows what the cool-faced Wooden Golem is thinking about right now. Lightning style, the strongest lightning style armor. Summoning technique, Ape Monkey Ape Gang. Soon, Konoha collided with Cloud Shinobi Village. In just a short while, Sarutobi Hiruzen fought against Third Raikage for several rounds. Sarutobi Hiruzen's wrinkled old face has become extremely pale. This young man really has no martial ethics. He bullied an old guy like me and made a sneak attack. No, I can't continue to compete with him in physical skills. If he hits me twice more, I feel like my bones will loosen. So Sarutobi Hiruzen started the Wandering Dragon Body technique and used ninjutsu to fight the Third Raikage. This makes Third Raikage, who likes melee combat, very annoyed. Jiraiya on the side was also sweating profusely, and faced the tacit cooperation between AI and Killer Bee, complaining repeatedly. The two Toad Sages, Fukazaku and Shima, had already been summoned by him. After a while, Jiraiya even had the idea of turning on Sage mode. The two led by Wooden Golem brought Azabuye, Samui, and a large number of Cloud people to fight against Konoha's ninjas. The movie is weighing heavily on Sarutobi Hiruzen, and the Abe brothers are also weighing on Jiraiya. The second tail Jinchuriki even led Cloud Shinobi to kill everyone. Soon, there are ninjas in Konoha who died under Cloud Shinobi's sword. At this moment, a towering sail gradually emerges from the water. Updates have been added. How many updates will be made next depends on your support. Free flowers, monthly passes, recommendation tickets. You can add more updates by tipping and automatically subscribing. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 70. Woo woo woo. The sound of a huge boat sounded from far to near. The loud voice quickly attracted the attention of Sarutobi Hiruzen and Third Raikage. Just seeing the giant wheel, Third Raikage's heart tightened subconsciously. Not long ago, Rock Shinobi Village came by boat to sneak attack on their retreat. Now in Third Raikage, everyone has a stress reaction after seeing the giant wheel. Sarutobi Hiruzen also looked puzzled. Where did the ship come from? Who was on the ship? Not only were the two of them unable to figure it out, but even Konoha's ninja, Cloud Shinobi, slowed down when he saw this strange situation. Soon, someone saw the sails on the ship clearly. It's the logo of Konoha, Commander-in-Chief. Our reinforcements from Konoha are here. Great, they are our reinforcements from Konoha. The trapped leaves will definitely win. I thought we were going to be defeated, but I didn't expect that we still had reinforcements. Is it Master Hokage? Sarutobi Hiruzen was quite happy to see the reinforcements. But when I heard the word Hokage, I couldn't help but twitch the corners of my mouth, and became confused. However, overall, he is still happy. Orochimaru, is that you? It seems that I was not completely wrong about you. At least you can still be relied upon on such a big matter. At the same time, the Third Raikage came back to his senses and had some guesses about Konoha's reinforcements. Orochimaru. Fourth Hokage. But that's not enough, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Maybe it's not enough, but it's definitely not that easy for Cloud Shinobi Village's daughter-in-law to defeat my Konoha. Raikage, don't forget that the ninjas here are not all Konoha. Rabbits will bite people when they are anxious, let alone us Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen threatened. Third Raikage does not take the threat of Sarutobi Hiruzen seriously at all. What? Are you still planning to abandon Rock Shinobi's front line, pull out all the ninjas, and fight us decisively? Maybe, Third Raikage, if you don't have a choice, this might not be an option. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not give Third Raikage a clear answer, but a specious answer. However, Raikage's heart still skipped a beat. He was really afraid of what Sarutobi Hiruzen said. If that's the case, wouldn't it mean that Cloud Shinobi Village will have to make wedding dresses for Rock Shinobi Village in vain? If it was to make wedding clothes for other Shinobi villages, Cloud Shinobi Village wouldn't say anything. But as for Rock Shinobi Village, Third Raikage once again thought about the scene where Rock Shinobi Village sneak attacked them before. If that happens, he will die in peace. Sarutobi Hiruzen's words gave Third Raikage a hint of retreat. But this does not mean that Third Raikage has given up his plan to attack Konoha from now on, but he feels that it is not the time to take Konoha yet. At the very least, he has to wait until Rock Shinobi Village and Konoha fight to survive. At that time, there will be no more things that he worries about. In other words, let Rock Shinobi Village be the leader. Raikage even thought that if Rock Shinobi Village pushed Konoha into a hurry, Konoha and Rock Shinobi Village would expose themselves. Then their Cloud Shinobi Village, isn't that the fisherman? If you can be a fisherman, who wants to be a crane? Third Raikage thought, and made a vague gesture to the ninja behind him. Cloud Shinobi's ninjas understood immediately, stopped their hands one after another, and began to distance themselves from Konoha's ninjas. The ninjas of Konoha had been resisting Cloud Shinobi's pressure just now. Now that Cloud Shinobi had taken the initiative to evacuate, they naturally stopped and kept a safe distance from Cloud Shinobi. Before the huge sail reached the shore, they had already stopped in tacit agreement. Then the two parties focused their attention on the giant wheel on the water. At this moment, Killer Bee and Wooden Golem's expressions changed. Raikage-sama, you have the aura of a tailed beast. And, there's more than one. Nine Tails is still in Kushina's body, so the aura is not obvious. Being both Jinchuriki, they could only vaguely feel the tailed beast approaching, but were not sure it was Nine Tails. However, the flavor of Three Tails is too obvious. At this time, the three-dimensional Isofo had completely gotten rid of the Jinchuriki, so he followed the fleet in his original form. Tailed beast, can you tell which one it is? Raikage asked directly towards the wooden golem without even looking at Killer Bee. 0. I don't know one, but the other one is Three Tails, said by wooden golem. Three Tails? Isn't that the tailed beast from the Mist Ninja Village? How could it appear here? Third Raikage looked puzzled. As the time goes, the huge body of Three Tails emerged from the water. At this time, even Sarutobi Hiruzen and Jiraiya could see it clearly. Then, the same question appeared in their minds. Three Tails, Isobutsu, why is it here? For a moment, the hearts of all ninjas are full of question marks and their expectations are high. A long time. On deck, Uchiha takes the lead, with Mizukage Yagura, Kushina, Hyuga Hisashi, and Uchiha Fugaku appearing in everyone's eyes. However, after they saw clearly who the visitor was, the confusion in their eyes not only did not diminish, but instead became more intense. Assistant Hokage, and Mizukage. On the contrary, the Orokai they suspected did not show up. The mix and match of Konoha Hokage assistant and Mizukage from Mist Ninja Village left everyone present confused. How could two people who obviously have nothing to do with each other appear at the same time? By the way, aren't Konoha and the Mist Ninja at war right now? Third Raikage couldn't understand that if the Mist Ninja hadn't taken the lead in attacking Konoha, he wouldn't have chosen this time to attack Konoha. Not only Raikage couldn't figure it out, but Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't figure it out either. As one of the Kage, how could Mizukage Yagura follow Uchihasuke? You can't, he's here to help Konoha, right? Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt ridiculous for his own thoughts. At the same time, Uchihasuke also saw that two groups of people were confronting each other in front. It seems that I came at the right time. Facing their confused looks, Uchihasuke smiled happily. This chapter will be updated with 400 recommendation votes. Now the recommendation votes are 416, use your little hands. Tomorrow the number of flowers will exceed 26,074, and we will continue to add more.